What is up, Peapod? It's your girl Key, second in command of the illest team known to man, the Purefoys, aka your family's favorite family. And I am coming to you doing some ordinary things in the house. It is not dinner time. I don't know why we didn't go to dinner time, but we didn't. But I'm live. I'm gonna put you guys on my little thing. Hi, Tawanya. How are you today? I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. But I am just folding some laundry. Hold on, let me bring my laundry pile a little closer. But we did not want to not come on live tonight. I did not want to not come on live tonight. So I am on here, even if I'm rolling dolo. So tonight, just so y'all know, is Taco Tuesday. We had just some ordinary tacos. So we just had ground beef tacos. They were delicious. Made some black beans and some rice. I didn't make like cilantro lime rice tonight because we didn't have any of those things. So they were like basic tacos. But we had cheese, we had sour cream, we had lettuce, we had tomatoes, we had taco sauce. So it worked out. I said we had beans, we had corn, and it was delicious. Okay, it was so good. I'm doing great today. I am doing good. I am just, Ari's making some cookies. I just got finished in the kitchen. Yeah, and I'm just folding some laundry because if I don't fold it right now, it won't get folded for the next probably 2 days. And it's my laundry. I need some stuff in there like socks. So I'm folding my laundry. Ooh, steak. I love steak. How do you like your steak done? I like medium steak. What kind of steak was it? I think my favorite steak is ribeye. I do love fillets, but I think I love it all actually. Like New York strip, ribeye, fillets. I think they're all delicious. I even like chuck steak. So I think as long as it's cooked right, I like it all. But that sounds absolutely delicious. What kind of vegetables did you have? But yeah, I just wanted to jump on here and chat with you guys for a little bit. So tell you guys what I had for dinner, and then we are going to talk about I do have something to talk about today. We are going to do a little testimony Tuesday for those of you who don't know or are not new to this channel. I'm going to share a little bit of my testimony. So many parts to my testimony, you guys. I cannot even talk about how good God has been. Like, I actually get like teary eyed, like I am right now, when I talk about how good He has been in my life. Whoever comes in here, if you can please click that thumbs up button, like that would be great. So I might get emotional, I might be fine, but a regular steak anyways. Mixed vegetables, yum. I might get emotional, I might be fine, but God is so good, y'all, and He has been so good. But I'm gonna do this in parts, so this is gonna take a while, because it's there. God has just He does over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So because how good He is, I cannot put this in one video. Like, we'll be here all night. We will literally be here all night. So I am actually gonna break it up and talk about first my old boys, and I'm going to talk about my life, like when I first met Sean, and then like when we went our separate ways, and then when he came back into my life. So I'm going to start there, and then maybe next time I'll take it back even more, to like when I was a child. Okay. Um, but right now I'm going to start there. Because I think that's the best place to start, even though he's not here with me. It's okay. He doesn't have to be here. I can still talk about it. Because it, it's still talking about what God did in my life, So, um, I so our two older boys, Zay and Jay, they are from, hey, Katie. How are you? Katie, what was for dinner? We had tacos. We had tacos. So just let me know what you had for dinner, and I'm going to keep on with my testimony. Yes, he is so good. Hey, Danielle. Um, so, God is so good. So, um, let's bring it back. I have to stop folding clothes for a minute to just really focus in. But let's bring it back to when Sean and I first met. So I am I'm a PK. I'm a pastor's kid. I have been one my entire life. My father was a pastor, and my mother is a minister. She is a reverend. She just never pastored her own church. So there's a lot, I feel, with pastors' children. There's a lot that comes with it, that like the spiritual warfare on our lives, especially because of who our parents are. Like the enemy, Satan, does not want us to live for the Lord. Okay, so like I already know that, when it comes to my children, I go to battle for them, and I know my mom did the same for her children, strictly because of that. That's like the biggest thing is, the enemy wants our kids. He's going to get them young. And he tries to get them young. He ain't going to get them, but he tries to get them while they're young. And that's where it comes, our job as parents to just protect them, monitor the things that they're doing, monitor the things that they're watching, because, Satan is like, he disguises himself as the angel of light. So, you never know which way he's coming from. So we always have to be on guard. Like the Bible says, to be on guard always. But yeah, so I'm going to start there. So, I've always, dealt with a lot of, spiritual warfare in my life since I was a young girl. But we're not going to even talk about young girl today. But we will talk about like teenager and up. Okay, so like when I met Sean. So, so I think I was almost 17 when I met him. Yeah, almost 17, senior in high school, or almost 18, whatever. I was a senior in high school, and I met him through a mutual friend. We started talking, kicking it. We both loved the Lakers. Like, absolutely loved them. They were our favorite team. Like, I wouldn't miss a game back then. It was crazy. And we just had so much in common, like between that, music. Like, we just had so much in common. We met a couple times. We hung out a couple times. And, like, he really hurt my feelings. Okay? My feelings were hurt. So he always talks about how I like kind of dropped him, but like when I was young and I felt rejection, I would basically like be like kind of be the mean girl, because I was the mean girl like for a long time. I was a mean girl for a long time. Like I'm talking about like to like my friends and stuff like that. But I had certain friends who just knew how to like knock down those walls and like get around it. Yeah, he used to be an angel. He isn't a dark angel. He's a fallen angel. Okay. So, so like I like just trying to get that's just trying to get around rejection. Okay. Like I was a mean girl. So I took to his, what I felt was rejection from him saying to me. So if you guys don't know the story, we had different prom dates because we met like after we planned our proms, and we were just talking. We weren't like in a relationship or anything, but I was going with my friend and he was going with whoever he was going with. But he went to his prom was first. So when he got home and like, or the next day or whatever, whenever I talked to him on the phone, you know, I was like, oh, how'd your prom go? Da, 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 da. And he was like, it was good. And he was like, but the girl didn't really pay attention to me. So like my feelings were kind of hurt because I was like, who cares? You know, like if you like me, then who cares if your prom date paid attention to you, you know? But if there's any guys in here, y'all know how I know what y'all was thinking. I know what he was thinking, you know? But I took that as rejection. So I got on the defense, you know, and I just felt like I had to protect myself. Okay. So let's fast forward to all. So I grew up in church. You know, I'm a PK now. Um, I started getting a little rebellious right after graduation. Right after graduation, it was kind of like all hell broke loose. You know, you feel like you get a little freedom. I went away to college for a few months. Came back home because I didn't want to be there. I got pregnant with my first son. Okay, I got pregnant with Xavier. So I was a young mom. I was a teen mom. I was still a teenager. I was 18 when I was pregnant. Had him at 19. And right then and there, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I basically like was like, Lord, you know, one of the things that I wanted to make sure I did was always like raise my children correctly, like raise my children in the ways of the Lord. Did I get it right every time? Absolutely not. Did I feel sometimes like I needed to be in the world? I needed to, you know, have fun and, you know, like not saying that Christians don't have fun, but the other type of fun, you know, that the world does, you know, like I did feel that way sometimes. Okay, so did I do everything right? No. One of the things that I've always, always, always dreamt about, like one of my dreams was being a wife and a mom. Okay, so my quest, let's call it that, my quest for love did not stop there. Okay, my quest for love kept going. Like, that's one of the things about me. Like, I never gave up on love, no matter what I went through, no matter how much I was hurt, no matter anything. Like, I never gave up on love, and I never gave up on God. Okay, never gave up on God. Did I stray from the Lord? Yes, I did stray from the Lord. But I always came back. I always repented. I always, you know, I've always had a heart of worship. And, you know, because I did that, I do believe that, well, let's keep going. So, do all my babies belong to the dad? Do they belong to Sean? No, they do not. All my babies. So my two older boys, they are 21 and 18. They come from two different relationships. Okay, so Xavier is so I had Xavier. Okay, so like I said, my quest for love didn't stop there. Okay, so I continued to date. And I thought I found someone, who I loved, thought I found someone who I wanted to be with. And um, y'all, and he asked me to marry him, and I did. But before I married him, I asked the Lord one night to show me a sign if this is not the man that I'm supposed to marry. Okay? When you ask God to show you things and open up doors, and whatever you ask him to do that's in his will, he is going to do those things. Okay? So I asked the Lord to show me a sign if I'm not supposed to marry this man. It was legit within a week that I asked him that we had gotten to an argument in the car, and he broke my windshield. He punched my windshield and broke my windshield. Okay? I feel like that was the biggest sign, the biggest red flag. And after that, it was like every week until my wedding, it was like something was happening, So I just want to, if you're asking, if you don't think that, you know, what you've asked God for is a sign, is confirmation, why not? Is it because you want your will to be done instead of his will to be done? Because that's what I wanted. I wanted my will to be done. Well, Lord, if I don't get married now, who am I going to marry? Or when am I going to marry? When am I going to get married? I was only 20. So first of all, I had time, you know. So God gave me signs. All right, he gave me signs. He was very clear, and I did it anyway. And it was a ride. It was a wild ride. A wild ride. All right, and Jaden was born through that union. Was divorced, I think we separated the following year. Jaden was little. He was still we went on and off for a little bit, but Jay was still little. He was definitely under the age of 3. So after that wild ride of back and forth, and when I tell y'all, it was a wild ride, having to not share where when I moved, having to not share where I lived so he would know how to find me and things of that nature. Okay, it was wild. It was a wild ride. And did I help the situation? No, because God knows what we need when we need it. I probably was not ready to get married at 20. I was very, very immature. Like I said, I feel rejection, and I don't do it anymore, but I went into mean mode, so I was not always nice. I know I pushed on a lot of things, and I probably pushed him to the, to certain limits. But I also knew when enough was enough, and I knew that, once it got abusive, I knew that this is not what God had for me. Okay. It wasn't really until then that I knew, I gotta get out of here. All right. So, but after that, now, Katie, do you really think that it was the Lord? That it's not, God never hurts us. That's a thing. We think that, if we go through things, if we go through tough times, if we go through trials, why would God do that? because he knows all, right? He knows what's going to happen. But but it's not him. Like he doesn't want us to go through these things. Like he hurts when we hurt. Okay? Like that I know for sure. He hurts when we hurt. And um ugh, I'm so sorry, Katie. I'm so sorry. And you know what? I will encourage you to um well, that's another testimony, but I will encourage you to call on the name of the Lord. Like call on Jesus, because he will let you know who he is. He will let you know he is there. He is a comforter. He is a healer. He has so much joy. He has so, like, you will feel so much joy. You will feel so much love. You will feel so much peace. And not everyone has, a smooth, easy life. Not everyone has a smooth, easy life. And some things, and they're not. I'm not saying that they're not our fault, right? Well, what I did was my fault because I was straight up hard headed. But I'm saying, like, the things that you went through, you know, the things that you went through. Sometimes we're just born into certain situations. Sometimes we are born into certain things, but in the end, when it's all said and done, like, God uses it all for good. Okay? He uses it all for good. And that I know. So back to my story. Where was I? I don't even remember. So y'all, sorry, deal with me. I'm trying to remember where I was at. Okay, so I got out of that, and I was single for a little bit, but I was having fun, and I was hurt. I drank a lot. I drank a lot of wine, a lot of it, and I just raised my boys. I took care of my boys. I worked really, really hard. I came home. When I put them to sleep, I drank till I went to sleep. I listened to music that is only going to depress me more. And all those things. And finally, I was like, I can't be in this place forever. So I started just opening, like, I tend to shut down. So I kind of like just, at least like hung out with my friends and, stuff like that. Went out with my friends on the weekends, stuff like that. And it was like kind of like the quest for love began again. Okay. Let's just call it that. So I started to date again. So much. I hate the dating world. Okay. It was like so much drama. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was really bad, guys. And finally, I moved like twice. I think I would, yeah. So let's fast forward. Jay is now like 5. So my youngest boy at the time, he was 5 or 4 or 5. And I moved us to this 2-bedroom, it's like a 2-family house in the same town we've been living in. Either I had an apartment or I lived with my mom for a little bit, but I usually had my own apartment. So I was at my mom's, but I saved the money to move back into my own apartment. So we moved back, and I remember one night I was just so tired of stupid men. Like I was so tired of the dating world, and I was like, Lord, I am so done with this. And I just was like, yes, Jesse, absolutely. Absolutely. But Katie, you can't see this is and you know, I drank because of the situation I was in. I used to smoke weed, like, you know, not around my children ever. But but like I said, the one marriage I was in, you know, it was, it did have abuse. Okay. And but that's where this testimony comes from today. Okay. Because I was in that place. Um, I wasn't in a place of forgiveness yet to my spouse, and to my ex-spouse, I should say. And that's where God wants us to be. He always wants us to be in a place of forgiveness, because just like Jesse said, like unforgiveness leads to bitterness, and it leads to us hardening our hearts. So I wasn't in a place of unforgiveness. I wasn't in a place of forgiveness yet, but I was working my way there. I was working my way to a place, and I want to say I never closed my heart off. So I know you say you've been single for years. You know, one thing, if that is your heart's desire, it was my heart's desire to be a mom and a wife. Like I knew I wanted more children. I knew I wanted to get married. I knew I wanted those things. I knew in my heart that I wanted them. Okay. And at that point, I was actually in my apartment. My kids were sleeping, and I went to bed and said a little prayer like, Lord, I'm tired of dealing with these people that have been coming, you know, it's like the same joker that, you know, I'm tired of dealing with this, you know, you know my heart, Father, and I promise to see, but you have to be very careful with y'all, because these are the type of prayers that you do not pray if you are not going to be faithful to them. Okay. And I told him that I will serve you wholeheartedly for the rest of my life. If you send me a husband, just somebody that loves the Lord, you know, somebody that loves you, Lord, somebody, you know, somebody that's going to love me and my children, you know, and I will say it again, you do not pray these type of prayers if you are not going to stand by these prayers. Okay, I will tell you one more time, you do not say these prayers if you are not going to stand by them. Okay, and I never, let me read what you're saying. I'll let y'all keep talking since y'all talking to each other. You know, you don't pray those type of prayers unless you are gonna own up to them. And y'all, it was not even a week later that Sean had sent me a Facebook message. And it's funny because he thought in my picture, I had a picture of me and my brother in my profile picture. And he thought that the picture was like being my boo or something like that, you know. But it wasn't. It was just me and my brother. And he asked me on a date. And I was like, yeah, I'll go. You know, like, sure, I'll go. Because remember, I was opening up my heart, you know, and I just asked the Lord to send me a good man. And I remember from when I was 16, yeah, he was a immature boy, right? But I knew he came from a good family. I knew he was good. I knew he was good in my heart of hearts. I knew he was good. So, he still had things going on. Like, was he perfect when we got back together? No, he was not perfect. If y'all heard our testimony before, like, when he asked me to go on a date, he had a whole girlfriend. So, you know, it was not perfect, right? But I do know for a fact that God sent him to me just when he needed to be sent to me for the both of us. It wasn't just for me. You know, it wasn't just for me. I didn't just need him and want him in my life, you know, but he had never stopped searching for me. And he was willing to give it all up. Like all the Playboy stuff, like he was willing to give it all up. So, I say all that to say, take delight in the Lord. Psalms 37:5. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. I stand by that. I stood by that then. And I've been walking in it ever since. And I've been serving the Lord wholeheartedly ever since. And I actually, I heard John say that it was because of me. He was always in the church as well, because he's also a PK. He was always in the church. He's been in the church since he was a little boy. And he played the organ in church. So he had a duty to be there every Sunday. But he said it wasn't until I came back into his life that he decided to rededicate his life and really like serve the Lord wholeheartedly as well. So like I said, like God does not make mistakes. He doesn't make mistakes. You know, sometimes we go through things so that we have a testimony to tell. Sometimes we go through things to help other people through the things that they are going through. Some, you know, with our testimonies, that's why testimonies are so important. Sometimes we, sorry, the baby's crying, so my mom brain. Sometimes we go through things so that God gets the glory. You know, he gets the glory. Because guess what? We are still standing. I am still standing, you guys. I am still standing. When me and Sean got engaged, I'm going to just go back to our engagement really quick because our engagement day just passed, actually, 14 years ago. But when we got engaged, we were engaged for like 6 months before we got married. I think it was like 2 months in. I was going to the doctor to get checked because I had precancerous cells on my cervix due to, you know, from that they saw from pap smears. So when I got those checked, one of the things the doctor said was, I don't know if you will be able to have any more children because I don't know if you will be able to hold on to them. You know, once we do this, once we take everything we need to take out. Okay. Y'all, I've had 6. Here's 6 right here. I've had 5 babies and I'm pregnant with number 6. So, like I said, you know, God will give you the desires of your heart. We just have to be in his will. He had this wonderful man for me. And I wanted to take it into my own hands instead of waiting for him. I took it into my own hands, that I did. And, you know, when we say, Lord, no, not your will, my will, like he'd be like, all right, take it then. You want it? All right, try it out. See if you like it, you know. And that's actually what he did. It's like he takes his hand off of it. Like, okay, you want to do that? You go right on ahead and do that. Even though I told you, you asked me, and then I told you again, like I told you not to do it. but you still want to do it, you know? So it's not, so it's not our will, but it's his will that is going to be done. And it's his will for my life. I know definitely that I want to be done. All right. Well, I love you guys so, so much. That's it for this Testimony Tuesday. Look at this little cute face. Hi. He's so cute. Oh, we love you too, Katie. We love you, and we are here for you, and we are praying for you always, okay? We are praying for you always, but do not give up on the Lord. And like I said, like, ask him. Like, ask him. Ask him, Lord, where are you? That's another testimony. Whoo, I said that one time, and whoo, whoo, whoo. It was crazy. It was crying, poopy. Oh my gosh, crying. Okay. But yes, and we are definitely here for you. We are definitely praying for you. Can someone come get the baby? Yes, he is good, Twania, all the time. Okay, 1 minute. He is so good. Like beyond what we can think or imagine, right? Like I can't even think or imagine because like of the blessings. And like when I think about his goodness, it overwhelms me. It's like this overwhelming joy and love and peace. I can't even I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. You see? But I love him so much, and I'm just so thankful for like my life. You know, I don't have everything that I want, y'all. I don't. But I know how good he is. I know how good he is. I have everything that I need. He's such a provider. All right, I'm crying now, so I'm going to get off of here. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one. Please, please, please click that thumbs up button. Comment down below, you guys. Look, my eyes are burning. Comment down below when we get off of this live, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully with the family. Oh my gosh, my eyes. All right, live the love.